Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our video of Ketu in the ascendant of Navamsa chart. And what happens when Ketu is in the first house of the Navamsa in your particular chart, which is the D9 Navamsa chart. This is a chart which is related to marriage, luck, related to the strength of your planets. It shows the second half of your life. Okay. And if you do not know, if you have this Ketu, what planetary placements you have in your D9 chart or your birth chart and all your astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Ketu in the ascendant, while Rahu is in the 7th house. So, whenever Rahu, Ketu are in the 1st and 7th axis of the Navamsa, regardless of which planet is in the 1st or 2nd, it definitely brings about a certain karmic imprint. Like a person has to deal with some debt from past life in regards to the chart that we are looking at. So in this case, we're looking at Navamsa. We're looking at the chart of marriage. Okay? And whenever Ketu, now this is without the signs we're talking about. Now, whenever Ketu is in the ascendant, one thing we see here is that you are here to serve your spouse. You are here to serve other people. Marriage is no longer about you. Marriage is about the other person. One will have to lose their identity in order to serve the marriage. But what this also does, because again, this is the karmic pattern where it's like Rahu Ketu in the 1st and 7th house is like the Kundalini. Okay, because Rahu is the head, the spine is Ketu, okay, the tail. And so here, a person will naturally be inclined towards understanding themselves through divine marriage, spirituality, yoga, meditation. Naturally, a person will be inclined towards occult and mysticism. And so what happens is a person will give themselves into a marriage. They will obey, they will, fulfill the needs of the spouse, but they're only doing it as a duty. For this Ketu person, they are more about wanting to fulfill their past life karmas, but also to be getting closer to the divine. And especially when Ketu is in the ascendant in the birth and Navamsa both, most definitely it's the quickest way to see that this person is born to pursue a spiritual life. But again, like Rahu was in the ascendant, you're all up in your head, you ignore the marriage. Ketu's in the ascendant, you're all about the other person, you kind of lose your identity and self. The other thing we also see is that definitely there's karmic relationship with the in-laws. One has to deal with certain transformation with the parents of the spouse or the family of the spouse. And especially, regardless if it's a man or woman, a person will be disconnected from their own family, meaning you'll be separated, you'll be going away somewhere. And naturally, one does not care for wealth, money, attaining assets. And at the same time, a person rigorously works in their professional life, they are completely dedicated to their professional life, and they are able to conquer a lot of ground on their professional life. But when where the domestic life is concerned, the attention is not there. The attention is there towards society. One is here to serve society. But do not mistake this particular placement as somebody who is, in a way, kind of stupid. They don't know who they are. No, they exactly know who they are. They know who they are. That's why they are refusing to identify themselves with the spouse or the marriage. They simply serve it. They serve it. And for them, it's all about execution of karmas. Because Ketu here is telling them, you gotta pay off your debts and karmas. It's time to get going. But Ketu in the ascendant in Navamsha, the professional life of a person will be very strong and solid, especially after 36. And does this bring a late or early marriage? No, this can bring an extremely early marriage. This can bring a late marriage. This particular placement does not really cause a delay in marriage. Delay in marriage really has to be seen through Jupiter, Venus, and the 7th Lord of the Navamsha. Now, yes, ascendant of the Navamsha has to be strong for promise of marriage. So Ketu is a natural malefic planet, right? So Ketu there automatically shows a person that it's better to be a brahmachari. It's better to be, away from this institution of marriage. But if the ascendant lord is strong of the Navamsha, sign-wise and house placement-wise, then it'll balance it out. They're like, okay, I know who I am, but still, okay, I need to get married because my family's pushing me, and I need to have maybe I love kids, so okay, fine, I need to find someone to have a family with. Okay, I'll do it. So in that case, that happens. But again, with Rahu in the ascendant, Ketu in the ascendant, it's always that there is definitely some dissatisfaction from some place, in the marriage. Will it be a full 100% dissatisfaction? No, because Jupiter and Venus, they will all balance things out. They'll all balance things out. But just by looking at Ketu, we know what this snake, the serpent, is made of. And this is actually, like I told you, I think in the last video, when Rahu, Ketu are in the 1st and 7th house, in the birth and Navamsha, this shows that the Kundalini is ready to be activated. This person is ready to ascend. Like, the best example is, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Mission to Mars. Watch that movie. Beautiful movie. Absolutely amazing movie. Came out in the early 2000s. In the very end, okay, and this is a spoiler, the main actor is going from bottom to the top in a spaceship. It's like a beam of light going up inside this one pyramid. It's exactly like that. Like that energy, the electromagnetic energy of Kundalini is just ready to rise up into the spaceship, so you can just go to the other realm. So literally, you should feel lucky, especially if you are spiritually inclined, if you're going through the right dashas. Perfect period. It's like, this is what I see about human beings. Human beings are like a rocket. It's a space shuttle. It's a rocket. And I cannot be more closer to the truth when I say this. We are all spaceships. And all the trees and plants and the food that you see is the fuel. And when you get the right fuel in, your rocket can start and take you wherever you want. You don't need to wait for a spaceship. You don't need to wait for 500 years where they can take you to Mars and, take you to a different planet and give you a tour of the solar system. It'll happen eventually in a material side, but the thing is, materially too, we can go. So when I walk outside, when I see human beings now, I feel like, just imagine rockets, Saturn V rockets walking around. And they even have the fuel, but they just don't know how to turn the ignition on so the rocket can go straight. With Rahu Ketu or Ketu Rahu in the 1st and 7th house, it's like the ignition is also turned on. You just have to press on the gas or pedal so the rocket can go up. So it's a very strong position for people who can really experience some heavy things. Okay, and we'll discuss about the 7th placement of this once we go to the 7th house of Navamsa. But just with Rahu in the 7th house shows that obviously you will get a complete opposite spouse to you. Somebody who is wanting to be out there, wanting to experience the material side, the material world, wanting to be kind of stuck in the web of Maya. And you're trying to repel from it. And this is why this pulling and repelling becomes karmic. You will have arguments, you will have dissatisfaction from the fact that you are completely different from the person that you are with. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Ketu in the 1st house of Navamsa chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. If you want to know where your Ketu and Rahu plays, all the astrological details, my books, reports, consultations, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.